On this channel, I've showed off a few different ways to treat your bamboos for the last decades. But I often get asked, which way is better? Well, today, I'm going to answer that question. We're going to go over traditional methods to treat bamboo, as well as more modern methods. Let's start off with a few of the traditional methods. There's water leaching, fermentation, using smoke and heat, and salt water. Water leaching is one of the simplest ways that people have been using for thousands of years to treat bamboo. All you have to do is submerge bamboo into flowing water for about 4 to 8 months. Doing this causes the sugars and starches to flow slowly out of the bamboo so that there won't be anything edible left for the bugs to eat. Now, while this method can work, it's not highly reliable, so it's not something that we want to depend on. Another traditional method to treat bamboo is treating it by fermentation. The idea is to compost the bamboo with mud and tree leaves for about 3 to 4 months. The microorganisms and bacteria in the compost will convert the starches and sugars into an acid, making it less edible for the bugs. Do you think this is a method that we can rely on? Probably not. Now, smoking and heating bamboo is a very popular method people are using to treat bamboo, and I get asked questions about this all the time. Smoking bamboo reduces the moisture content in recently harvested bamboo, and it also releases the sugars out of the bamboo so that there's nothing left for the bugs to eat. The chemicals that are found in the smoke are absorbed by the tissues in the bamboo, which also helps to protect the bamboo from insects. It is kind of a challenge to maintain the consistency of the heat and smoke throughout the entire piece of bamboo. You may leave it too long in one place or too little in another and get sporadic treatment along the pole. Another effective way to treat bamboo traditionally has been to preserve it in salt water for about 3 months. This allows the fibers to absorb the salt and release the sugary sap that's found in the bamboo. The only challenge with this method is that salt water is made up with chlorine and sodium, which are both highly corrosive. So when you go to build with it, it tends to rust out the joints and other metal joinery pieces so that it causes problems down the line. Now, although these methods have been used for thousands of years, we have found a better way to treat bamboo, and that's with borax and boric acid. Borax and boric acid are not harmful to the environment, they're cheap, and they're really easy to find, and they're effective. It's how I like to treat my bamboo, just like I'm sure how you like to hit that like button down below. Now, there are a few treatment methods that we use that I've highlighted on this channel to treat bamboo with borax and boric acid. Now, soak immersion, like I'm doing here, is a good system to use if you plan on treating a lot of bamboo. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting a lot of product. Now, there are 2 different ways to treat your bamboo with a soak immersion, with either a cold immersion or a hot immersion. Both of those methods require you to pierce the nodes before you get started. Now, a cold soak immersion requires an open tank under a roof. You don't want to get it all diluted from rainfall and stuff because it has to sit there for about 7 to 14 days while it's treating. And a hot soak requires a tank that's built up off the ground so that a fire can be built underneath it. The heat of the water helps the borates enter the woody tissues of the bamboo faster. With this method, all you need to do is soak the bamboo for 24 hours at a water temp that's about 60 degrees Celsius. Vertical soak diffusion is another low-tech method that utilizes borax and boric acid to treat bamboo. This method allows you to treat bamboo quickly without the need for much infrastructure, and it's perfect for small backyard projects. In this method, you pierce the nodes of the bamboo, but you leave the bottom node intact. And then you go ahead and fill it with your solution till it's filled all the way to the top. And this allows the solution to penetrate the bamboo from the inside, because that's where all the sugars and starches are that the bugs love. Now, it takes 14 days to treat a piece of bamboo using this method. So during that time, you have to keep it out of the sun, you have to keep it out of the rain, and you have to refill it every so often because the bamboo soaks it up. This method takes a little more attention on your part than when you utilize the cold immersion soaking process. And there's one last really simple method that I've shown and highlighted to treat bamboo with, and that is called the bucket method. Essentially, you take a bucket, 5-gallon bucket, you fill it with your borax and boric acid solution, and if you don't know how to make that, I did make a video showing how to do it, and you can watch it right here. But otherwise, you've put it with the solution, and you put a freshly cut piece of bamboo into that bucket. The idea is that the bamboo is still alive, and the capillary action draws up that solution into the pores of the bamboo and displaces the sugars and starches that way. Now, while this method is really easy, it's not completely reliable. You have no idea whether or not all of that solution made it to the top of the bamboo. So it's not the most reliable method for treating your bamboo. And one last way that we treat bamboo is by pressure treating it. In the bamboo world, we call it the Bouchier method. An airtight nozzle is fixed to the end of the bamboo, which allows your treatment solution to be forced through the comb. Like the traditional bucket method, you have to do this as soon as you cut your bamboo. But it's so much more effective in terms of time. You can treat a single comb in as quickly as an hour. However, you can only treat one pole at a time, unless you have some sort of a modified system where you can add multiple nozzles to the system and treat multiple combs at the same time. That could end up becoming pretty costly, especially if you don't do this all the time. Borax-based treatment methods to treat bamboo are by far my favorite. They are reliable and easy to do. Out of those methods though, I would choose the soak immersion for larger projects, the vertical soak diffusion for small backyard projects. I would use the pressure treat method if I need a pole right away, and I would use that bucket method as a last resort. Now my channel has an extensive bamboo playlist where I've shown multiple methods for treating bamboo as well as how to build with bamboo. If you're interested in learning more, be sure to check out this playlist right here. Otherwise, ahui ho.